When passion is put into your art, it's felt by everyone who experiences it. When love is put into a project, it's felt by all. And when an overabundance of talent is added to this already deadly combination, you probably get something that looks a lot like Hi-Fi Rush. Shadow dropping this fantastic game feels so on brand for the tone set by Tango Gameworks, and this, in my opinion, was a true moment of all the stars aligning, and I'm just so glad I got to witness it. If you enjoy this review, please consider liking and subscribing, and if you're feeling naughty, go ahead and hit that bell notification. Let's get to it. Enter Chai, self-proclaimed future rock star and main character of Hi-Fi Rush. Labeled a defect after an experiment gives him a robotic arm and an MP3 player for a heart, Chai has the ability to sense the rhythm in the world around him, and he's going to need it to defeat the evil corporation known as Vandalay, who's trying to eliminate him for said defect. While simple in premise, what works here undeniably is that Chai and the many characters that join your crew along your adventure are all so fucking likable. If High on Life had me smiling the whole time due to vulgar humor and a countless barrage of jokes, Hi-Fi Rush felt like the wholesome, more refined alternative. Throughout the 7 to 10 hours it took me to complete the game, I was either smiling ear to ear or bopping to the killer soundtrack, no exceptions. I loved every aspect of the story told here, so let's move on. Hi-Fi Rush's aesthetic, as many people have pointed out, is very reminiscent of that Dreamcast classic Jet Set Radio, or even the more recent Sunset Overdrive by Insomniac Studios. Sporting bright and fantastic colors, Hi-Fi Rush is an absolute treat for the eyes. But what Tango does differently here is the expertly done transitions between different art styles that make sense in the context of the world. From graffiti-strewn comic book style expositions to the superbly done animated cutscenes, and then the polished stylized gameplay you see before you, all in a matter of seconds, this is something that can only be done in the medium of video games and was an absolute joy to experience. Now, I'm not the target audience for Hi-Fi Rush's main game design philosophy. I do not like rhythm games, and believe me, I've tried, which I think speaks volumes to how addicting the gameplay loops are here. This game is the epitome of easy to play, but hard to master. I consider myself an above average player, and only once or twice throughout the entire game managed an S rating for an entire sequence. Luckily, for someone who's pretty prideful about my skill sets, it never bothered me how shitty I was at the game because I was just having so much fucking fun, which leads me to believe that this is the type of game that caters to both hardcore and casual fans of the genre alike, and felt like the true triumph of this game. If you can't tell by now, I loved every second of my time spent in Hi-Fi Rush. From beginning to end, I was constantly surprised and charmed at every turn. Gameplay stayed fresh throughout a multitude of different unlocks and a steady stream of abilities, fun collectibles like the graffiti wall at the hideout, a bombastic soundtrack, charismatic characters throughout, multi-layered badass boss fights, and an awesome and infinitely replayable endgame made me realize this is the total package. Now, I'm taking 0.5 off the total score due to some levels feeling like they dragged on just a tad too long and a jump mechanic that felt a little less than stellar, and hitting Hi-Fi Rush with a 9.5. Go and play this game, take it or leave it. Thanks for watching.